Okay, let's get into it. We're going to dive into this collection of stories and really try to uncover the unique creative signature of a single author. We're going to break down her recurring themes, the types of characters she loves to write, and this one very specific, kind of wild plot twist she uses to see if we can actually map out her literary DNA. And it all really starts right here. This single line from her story, Julie's Place. This is the key that unlocks everything. It's just the perfect way to describe that tension at the very heart of her work. The calm, perfect surface of a life and the chaotic past that's threatening to just shatter it all. This really sets the stage for our entire investigation. So first, let's ground ourselves in the author's main fictional world. We're talking about the seemingly perfect Grand Haven estate of Julie Stauer, a world that from the inside is just an absolute symphony of chaos. This line from Julie's husband, Kurt, just says it all, doesn't it? Here's a successful doctor, living in a mansion, and yet he is completely, utterly defeated by the daily mayhem in his own house. It's this constant and, frankly, hilarious clash between their immense wealth and the relentless pandemonium of family life that, well, that's their normal. And the source of all this chaos? Six. 6 children. And get this, it's not just 6 kids, it's 2 sets of triplets, ages 5 and 6. They are the brilliant, tiny conductors of this household orchestra, turning every single day into a completely unpredictable performance. Yeah, this organized chaos is what defines Julie's world. I mean, we are talking about a pet frog being kidnapped and then liberated during science class. School pictured a totally ruined by a 5-year-old's very enthusiastic lipstick experiment, and a 6-year-old who orders $47 worth of Taco Bell because his mom's crossword was, quote, inefficient, and then he justifies it with a cost-benefit analysis. This is the baseline reality we're dealing with. But all that charming chaos, that's just the beginning, because underneath all of that, we find the author's true thematic obsession, the dangerous, life-altering secrets that are always lurking just under a perfect surface. And this isn't just a theme she uses in one story. It is a blueprint she uses again and again. She sets up a world that seems almost idyllic, and then she introduces a single, devastating secret that threatens to bring the entire structure crashing down. So in Julie's Place, all that family chaos is the perfect cover for the real secret. Turns out, Julie isn't just a suburban mom. She's the anonymous author of a famous local exposé. And when a breaking news report splashes her face on TV, her hidden past collides with her quiet present, and suddenly, everything is at risk. And we see this exact same pattern in another one of her works, a romance called Nearly 10 Years. The whole plot is built around a 10-year separation between 2 lovers, Jessica and Brian. But the real explosion, the real drama, happens when Brian comes back and discovers the secret that's been kept for that entire decade, their 9-year-old son, Christopher. It's the same blueprint, a hidden truth as the explosive core of the story. Now, to populate these worlds of chaos and secrets, the author uses a recurring cast of character archetypes. It's almost like she has her own little repertory company of actors that she just deploys across all of her stories. First, there's always the precocious genius. In Julie's Place, this is 6-year-old Adam. He's the kid who calmly informs the dental hygienist that the risk of a fatal event under anesthesia for a healthy kid is about 1 in 300,000. His intelligence is both this amazing gift and a source of total chaos for all the adults around him. Then you've got the rebel. This is 5-year-old Sophie, who punches another girl on the playground for scuffing her hopscotch court. But see, she's not being malicious. She's just enforcing her own powerful, if maybe slightly flawed, sense of justice. Her explanation for it? She got on my very last nerve. Fair enough. And finally, we see the angsty teen, a character who sees the world through this lens of raw, completely unfiltered cynicism. In The Bad Side Upside Down, Freddie greets the day not with a good morning, but with this perfect, cynical summary of what it's like to be a teenager. Okay, so we've established a pretty clear pattern, right? Family dramedy, built on chaos and secrets. But just when you think you know the rules, when you think you've got it all figured out, the author does something shocking. She completely pulls the rug out from under the entire story. See, the author loves to set up a recognizable domestic reality and then just shatter it. She injects these high-concept genre elements right into the middle of the story, and all that chaos suddenly becomes something else entirely. In Julie's Place, What seems like a normal story about sibling rivalries and dogs in a peanut butter-induced coma is suddenly broken by the introduction of the Infinity Max a Million. It's this chunky, brightly colored toy phone that is actually a magical device that lets the kids travel to virtual worlds. The story just abruptly shifts into science fiction, out of nowhere. And this pattern just repeats itself in Mimosas and Missions. What starts as this lighthearted story about a bunch of retirees drinking mimosas and playing cards is suddenly invaded by a high-stakes CIA spy thriller plot, where an agent has to investigate his own grandfather. The mundane is just violently interrupted by the extraordinary. And the tonal whiplash is probably most extreme in the horror script Diablo Island. A group of prisoners are abandoned on a remote island, literally left to die. And as their captor leaves, he tells them this chilling line. And just like that, it transforms from a survival story into supernatural horror. The rules of reality are once again completely rewritten. So when we piece all of these clues together, the chaos, the secrets, those stock characters, and the reality-breaking twists, we can finally define the unique creative signature of Julie Stauhauer.
It's a signature blend of mundane family chaos and these extraordinary secrets, and it's all designed to explore one central idea. How do ordinary people cope when their reality is fundamentally broken? It doesn't matter if it's by a magical phone, a spy plot, or a supernatural entity. The core question is always the same.
This unique three-step formula is what makes her storytelling so unpredictable and so compelling. You start in a relatable, even if it's hectic world. You get invested in a deeply personal secret, and then, just when you think you know what kind of story you're reading, she changes the genre on you entirely.
Ultimately, all of these seemingly disconnected works, a family dramedy, a spy thriller, a horror story, they're all asking the same powerful question. They push us to think about the narratives we build for ourselves and how we react when the world we thought we knew suddenly just breaks apart.